All right, guys, it's life and times. You know what I'm saying? Another glorious day. You know what I mean? What another special, super special guest, guys. This almost didn't happen, but you know what I'm saying. But we're here, guys. This person is probably one of the most creative people that I know. I say this almost a lot, but that just leads to show you that everybody that I have on here is top of the top. We don't have anybody on here that's not putting their all into what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And this is a test of time. This is showing it. You know what I mean? She's probably the most. I think out of all the creative directors I've had on here, I mean, like I said, you're right there. You know what I'm saying?
That's so
You know what I'm
sweet.
saying? You're right there. I mean, it's so much character. You know what I'm saying? I know we just met, but you could tell it's so much of you. You know what I'm saying? Very thought out, very methodical, very it makes me feel like back in the day when like alternative music was like great and had a vision behind it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. And
But
that's all I'm trying to do.
oh yeah, I can tell
Yeah,
you're doing great. But
thank you.
introduce yourself.
Hi, Life and Times. My name is SamFine. My actual name is Sam Finelli.
But that
Um,
works.
that works. Sam Fine.
Sound
I'm
fine.
from Jacksonville, Florida.
Or
Actually, I was born in Boca Raton, South Florida, and then I moved to Jacksonville when I was like 2.
Boca Raton is like a. It's like I just remember Sopranos talking about it. I've never
Yeah,
been.
it's very Italian.
It's very
It's very
Italian.
Italian Jewish adjacent. I think it means big
Really?
rat in Boca Raton.
In Spanish?
I think Spanish, yeah, big rat. Or
Yeah.
something.
I mean that's still kind of fire though.
Fire.
I thought it was like a vacation place.
Yeah, it's like you really should only be there to like vacation unless you're really rich, and we weren't, so we had to move.
But at least for the time that you were there,
Yeah,
it was still a fun and enjoyable time.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, that's amazing. How are you doing though on this fine Friday morning or afternoon?
I'm doing well, Beginning of the month, just paid my rent.
Love that.
Love that. The worst. Other than it being the beginning of the month, I am doing fine and dandy.
Hey, I feel like this month feels different. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like
Yeah,
it feels different,
I feel something coming.
right?
It's almost next year, and I think everybody's really excited for that.
I feel like well, it's the real fourth quarter now. I feel like
Yeah,
everybody's like, oh, when it hits August, like, oh, the year's almost over. It's like, no, we got time. That's it.
yeah,
But when it hits November, yeah, it's put up or shut up.
yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
it's my birthday next week.
Oh, word!
Yeah.
Happy fucking birthday!
Thank
You know what I
you.
mean? I wish I had like a banner, confetti
I know. I was
fall from that.
surprised when I walked in and that wasn't there. I was
I'm,
like, "Yo, what the fuck? Where's my birthday
it's
shit?"
my birthday. You're supposed to know this. You know
Yeah,
what I
I thought
mean?
you knew.
Now we do.
Yeah,
Now we
yeah.
do. I'll send you a fruit basket for your birthday.
I
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
that.
I got you. So you're from Jacksonville, but
From
what's it like growing up in Jacksonville?
Growing up in Jacksonville was very. Jacksonville is such a large city. It's very diverse, and I think that each pocket of it is very different. Like demographically, Jacksonville's huge, and so where I grew up isn't going to be the same experience as where someone else from Jacksonville grew up. I grew up in a very small suburban, closed-minded town.
Mm.
It was awful, but thankfully, I grew up with very open-minded and morally correct parents. So, like, we were kind of loners in that sense. My parents didn't hang out with the other parents that much because the viewpoints
The
were very
viewpoints.
different. I didn't hang out with anyone that much. A lot of people knew who I was, but I didn't have a lot of friends. I remember having like 3 core friends. We were very cliquey. We were like this little girl gang. Like, did not fuck with anybody else. Like, definitely got in a lot of drama, a lot of fights. Social justice warrior, big Twitter
Social
person,
justice warrior.
posting insane things on Twitter.
I mean, social justice is a great thing.
It
Though.
grew up too fast.
Yeah.
But I don't think that has to do with where I grew up. I think it has to do with the communities I was involved with and like the people that I got involved with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drugs.
I mean, it,
Like
it's
everywhere.
like everywhere else.
Yeah, it's
though.
like there's drugs
There's
everywhere.
not
You
a
know?
drug-free, state in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
United States. You know what I mean? Everyone goes to their bouts.
My
You know what I'm
my
saying?
high school was nicknamed the pharmacy.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
I don't know why.
Y'all's getting right. Y'all's getting- we don't promote drugs on this channel.
I'm sorry.
No.
Well, no,
I'm
I
saying,
don't.
No,
I
I'm saying,
don't, yeah.
I'm saying, like, yo, we don't condone
Oh yeah,
drug
no,
use.
no.
But I feel you.
This
You know
was
what
like 10 years ago.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
fuck, I just aged myself. Holy shit. 10 years ago.
Bro, wait. How old are you?
I'm about to be 25 next week.
You've been on this for 10 years? Or almost at,
Oh well, no, I mean I was like a freshman in high
oh,
school
Jesus
like
Christ.
10
Oh,
years
yeah. I
ago.
was going to say, oh, my God.
That's when all the drugs were happening when I was like
Oh,
15.
well, yeah. I mean, because everyone starts experimenting. Like,
Yeah.
that's the prime age. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you really start becoming aware of the world. Like, right
Yeah.
then. Like, you
And
know what
just
I'm saying?
hating your parents.
Everything. You
Yeah.
just hate everything. Yep.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything was so
You
bad.
want to be left alone. It's just like, you know,
In my suburban town,
it
in
was,
my nice suburban town, everything was so
it was
bad.
just, hey, first world problems.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm
real.
saying?
It was
Like,
giving that. It was giving that.
you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying?
But I
Especially,
did grow up so blessed. Like, I don't want to
no,
make it seem like
no, yeah.
I grew up very blessed, but very troubled nonetheless.
I think the ideology is always like, you know, the people that like grow up in churches and stuff like that usually end up crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yeah.
feel like you have to like, it's not crazy, but I feel like it's just you're trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when like the
It's
piece,
confused.
yeah,
It's
you
too
just
much of one thing, it will always be confusing.
yeah,
So,
and it's like if you don't figure it out yourself, or like you're like trying to figure it out yourself, and like your parents or whatever is trying to like, you know, really push like the envelope, because I mean obviously they've probably been through it, so they're trying to coach you through it, but it's not helping because they just feel like they're pruning, and it's like, you know, like, okay, like you're gonna make me act out even more, like, you know what I'm saying? So no, I definitely get you, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But it could have been worse, you know what I'm saying? It could always be worse, you know what I mean? It's how you gotta see it. So then from there, what happened after that? Like, so after high school, you know what I mean?
After high school, I tried to go to college for creative writing. So I went I failed every fucking class for like 2 semesters straight. Like I think I withdrew from like 2 or 3 and then I failed the rest like every single time.
Just because you didn't want to do it, or like,
I just wasn't doing. I was partying. I
I
was.
feel you.
I was such a part. I might still be. I'm kind of a party girl. I don't know why, but
The
like,
hat says it all.
yeah, I was just in college, like not going to college. I was going to frat parties. I was hanging out with people. I was going out like every single night. I mean, it was like literally Monday through Friday, like weekday type shit. It was
Christ.
weird shit. So I was like, I kind of realized that school wasn't for me. Like, I wasn't gonna do it. Like, I probably could have, like, sat down and, like, got myself to do it, but, like, I was not going to. I didn't want to. I wanted to be a music video director. I knew I wanted to be a music video director. I thought that, you know, when you grow up in like the town that I grew up in, like people tell you like you have to finish college, you have to have this or you're not going to be able to do this, but you know, with access to social media and the internet, I could see people who didn't go to college doing shit. And I was like, all right. So in 2019, I had a friend text me and she was like, hey, like my best friend actually, they're really sweet. They were very professional models out here, doing very well, like big names, big runways, getting flown everywhere. And they were like, hey, like we have to move to LA for work. We would love if you came with us, like split a 3-bedroom type beat. And I was like,
Tight beat.
I was like, oh fuck yeah, type beat, 3-bedroom, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, yeah, I'm there. But I had just started dating a boyfriend.
I started dating a boyfriend. Yeah, okay.
A boyfriend out of the many. I was dating one of them, and I've been dating him for like a month, and I kind of texted him one day while I was at work. I was a waitress forever. I've been working in the restaurant industry since I was 15. I always had to have a job. Like my parents weren't gonna give me money.
Yeah.
I needed to buy the drugs.
Yeah.
When I was 15.
What a way to, I mean, it's
I
better
had to get it somehow.
I mean, because it would have been crazy if you would have had like, if your parents would give you bread and it's just going.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's fucked up.
It's just going
That's fucked
away.
up. And
Yeah.
some of them were doing that. Some of those kids I grew up with were doing that.
Because it's usually because they got disposable income and it's like they're not,
Yeah.
but they're not checking
Yeah.
that $20.
But my parents weren't even like that. Like if I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like can I get $20 like to go to the mall? My mom would be like, no, like you know, like it
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
like that. So you know, I was working. So you know, I was at my waitress job. My friend, I had texted. I literally went to the bathroom at my job because this was when all these text conversations were happening, and I like couldn't wait to like text this dude I just started dating and be like, I'm out,
Yeah.
I'm out. So I like hit him up and I was like, yo, like I'm moving to LA, like
I appreciate you.
goodbye, like, and he was like, no, I'm coming, and I was like,
No way.
oh, all right, because his older sister lived out here.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, oh, like, I'm coming with you. And I was like,
Fuck
shit,
it.
fuck it.
Fuck it.
So we fucking saved a bunch of money for like a month or two and drove our asses from Florida to LA and ended up in LA. And you know, when I first got here, I waitressed for like 2.5 years without touching any cameras, without making any connections, without even the realm of possibility that I was going to be doing anything that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I lived a very normal life. I was just working. He was just working. We both were very comfortable in just being with each other. And I think that I started to realize that I was too comfortable in that
Just being
routine.
stagnant, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to make myself uncomfortable. If I don't make myself uncomfortable, I'm never going to create anything. I'm never going to amount to like why would I move there for no reason?
Yeah.
Like obviously my parents didn't want that for me. Obviously my parents wanted me to finish school. Like I went out on a limb to do this, and I was like, I gotta create this uncomfortable space for myself so that I can like get led to other things. It wasn't like me and him broke things off and I immediately like got motivated and picked up a camera or like met people.
Took a little bit.
But it led me to other things, and like I hate to say this, but like as a woman and as a young woman in LA, there were more opportunities to meet people when you didn't have like like a dude being there like needing to go with you everywhere, and like you couldn't really like go to parties and meet people. Like
no, you couldn't.
When you network here, you're partying.
Yeah.
Partying saved my life.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in a touch on that. I feel like if you're gonna freelance, like the person that you're with, that you decide to be with or whatever, they neither gotta be the most the most secure person on earth, because it's not,
especially as a woman.
Yeah,
like why would you be on, like I remember one time I was waitressing, and I was waitressing the person that I was serving at this nice restaurant that I worked at had told me that he was a like movie producer, and he like name dropped a few people that I very much admired at the time. And like I went home from work that day, and I told the boy that I was seeing, I was like, hey, like this producer wants to like have dinner with me, and he just no, like he wants something else, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, but like I know how to handle myself, and I know how to make the conversations go in a different way, and like I would rather just go and see than to not. As a woman, you always run the risk of a professional connection being some dude just being weird, but like you have to take that risk because you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know.
No, you don't.
And you just have to trust yourself to be able to exit the situation if it does start to head in the wrong direction. But like,
exactly.
I mean, I'm speaking with men all day long. I was just, for the last music video I did, dealing with two men I'd never heard of, older men I've never heard of. Like, I'm having to have like professional conversations with them. I don't know them.
Exactly.
I have to be able to handle my own.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting older though. I'm about to be 25. So like, I'm not like a little girl anymore. I got this shit.
Grown ass woman.
Yeah, I'm grown.
Yeah, dead ass.
Yeah, I'm grown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I think the big thing is too, is like the stipulation of people like having the, like, it does have to start with you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But also too, guys is just their intentions sometimes aren't where they need to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if I name drop these people, like I can get her to go out with me type situation.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a guy, like I get it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely understand the whole like, well, if she's gonna go out, it's gonna be a problem. But it's like, at the same time, why are you blocking blessings?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're in the land of opportunity, so it's like, why not let her take the shot?
Yeah,
like,
why not just like see what's going on? Like, why not trust the fact that I know what I'm doing and I know how to handle shit if it's not what they made it seem to be.
Exactly. And it's such a, I wish people would get over that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I also think too, it's like, yo, if she wins, we win. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's a W.
Like, let me feed you, baby.
Yeah,
like, you want me to stay at home father? Like
forever? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, come on, what are we doing? But again, like I said, it's a up and down situation with that.
I have met like when I was still waitressing, my last waitress job, I think that I stopped working there last August, and I had met some people because I went out of my way to like network more. People were interested in like, people love to talk to waitresses, ask them why they're in LA, because everyone knows that like if you're a waitress in LA, you're trying to do something else. So like if it came up, I'd meet people. So many broken promises, so many things fell through, so many connections that weren't made that came from conversations I had with people that I was serving.
Yeah.
So I had to go through that. I had to like drive places and meet up with people and nothing come of it, and like think that something crazy is gonna happen and it didn't. Like I remember like the first thing that ever happened to me before I created anything, when I was like on my way to like trying to become something, is I met this woman, and she produced for the music video director Joseph Kahn.
Really?
Yeah, she produced all of his videos in the early 2000s.
Wow.
So she did basically all of the biggest videos of all time she was a part of.
Yeah.
And she thought I looked cool. She wanted to know if I was an artist. I said no, like I want to direct music videos. And she was like, oh, because but she knows she was in that realm. But so I was like, she told me who she was. She showed me her website. She was with a girl that was like maybe her assistant, who was like, wow, you just met the right person. And I was like, oh my God, this lady's gonna basically change my life. I asked her if I could take her to lunch. I drove to Manhattan Beach on one of my days off.
And just let everybody know, Manhattan Beach, from where it is, I won't,
It's
from where we at, it's a minute.
And
like,
I used my own waitress money. I mean, she didn't want me to buy it, but I wanted to buy it. I wanted to show her, like, I respect you. I wanted to take you to lunch. I wanted this to be, like, a work conversation. And the whole lunch, she only talked about basically all of her accomplishments, and was kind of in a way, like, reliving, like, her glory days. And, like, I don't think that she knew I had something. She did.
Yeah.
She told me she knew I had something. And, that made me feel good. But, like, after that lunch ended, we never spoke again. Nothing came about it. Like, the projects that she was doing were too large scale to the point where even if she wanted to involve me, I would end up being like
a PA.
A PA of a PA.
A PA.
Like not even a PA. Like
Yeah.
like I would end up sweeping the floors there, and like
Yeah.
I knew that if I didn't go corporate, I'm gonna get farther faster.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in LA make that mistake when they come here and they want to be in the film industry, is they immediately want to go television, feature film, corporate, and it's like you are holding yourself back because you are playing this waiting game, and you are like practicing, and like I know you're putting a lot of work in, but like you could be doing shit
On your
the
own.
amateur style. You could be making shit with your friends. You could be making shit with random people, like building a community, building connections. And when I realized that was when everything clicked for me. It was closely after I had that meeting with that girl, I met a dude who goes by the @name Vixen, VIXXION on Instagram. He's like a switchblade. have it come up.
Have it come up,
Yeah, he
right?
paid
Okay.
me to promote him on this, actually.
Got it.
But
We're here.
I got introduced by him from a mutual friend, and he was doing everything I wanted to do, and he was doing it by himself. He's almost like this switchblade, like DP, editor, colors, director, can do all of it.
Switchblade? I'm not going to lie, not to cut you off, but Switchblade? I've never heard anybody use that.
He's a switchblade. You open that shit up, and he's got all of it. And
Swiss
and
Army
he does it
knife.
well. Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I was like, yo, that was crazy. I'm saying that, though, for the rest of my life. Thank you for adding that to my vocabulary. Anyway, okay, that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I met Vix, and from a mutual friend, and I basically like told him the second I met him, I was like, I want to be who you are. I want to do what you do. I want to do projects the way that you do them. Like, I love your work. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna bring you to everything, for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
This dude had no ulterior motives. He's got a beautiful girlfriend. He has like this great life. Like, he had no reason to help me other than the fact that he cares about the industry he's in.
Yeah.
And he wants to see more people succeed in it. And I think that he wants to see more women succeed in it. So he was like, all right, like, I'm going to bring you with me to everything. Fuck it. He brought me to everything.
yeah.
And we work closely together now. Like, I get him work. Like, I think he's been on like 2 projects of mine just this month only. And, we have this beautiful like symbiotic relationship where like we get each other work, and like we're taking care of each other. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, when I go up, he goes up.
Exactly.
Like, that's my boy.
Hand in hand, yeah, I get it.
But he's the reason why, like, the reason why I'm talking about him right now is because he's the reason why I haven't amounted to anything. Truly. He changed everything for me.
Shout out to Vixen, man.
That's my brother.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Have him on here next.
And I can't talk about my success without bringing him up because
Yeah.
it feels wrong. Because
I get you.
he really was my, like,
The doorway in.
he picked me up and put me there, basically.
Yeah, that's fire though.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is though, I feel like there's a lot of like, I wouldn't say there's a lot of that. I mean, you're probably one of the very few ones that had that situation with no alternative motives and everything going correctly.
Yeah.
But like, it kind of just goes to show you too that even if like a million jobs fall through, a million people don't keep their word, or whatever the case is. It always takes that one time
Yeah.
for someone to really believe in you, and for lack of a better term, like all the stars align, and then things
Yeah.
make sense. So it's like, okay, and then from there on, after you end up being who you are deep down, which all those YouTube videos and out there with a camera trying to figure it out works out, and you get and have a spot like you have, what I'm saying, then everything just starts flowing, and then you kind of are there for what you were made for. I'm
Yeah.
saying, all the dreams come true. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But so from there, so I wanna also get into the fact that you are doing these music videos that are like, these are, hold on, I want to say it correctly. These are
Low
alternative,
budget.
yeah, low, but
Oh,
yeah,
alternative.
well, they're low budget, but they don't feel low budget.
They
But they're,
don't.
yeah, but they're and they are alternative
Yeah.
in that genre.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're not low budget because those videos aren't always usually made to be like a crazy, $5 million,
Yeah, it's
you
a lot
know?
of because I think that at the core of a authentic alternative video, it's a lot of performance, it's a lot of band, it's a lot of like group activity.
Yeah.
Like bands don't do it by themselves. Like I don't do it by myself. I got my team. Bands have their team. Like, and I think a lot of people miss that with like today's alternative music and today's alternative music videos is like they skip that really important part of it. And like I have a very hard time making an alternative video if there's not a band performance. Because I'm like, bands are alternative music, and like I don't want to make this alternative video if there's not a band performance. There's like key components that I like to have, and that just happens to be one of them. Because like you said, like it feels authentic, it feels reminiscent of like early
Yeah.
2000s alternative videos, and
Yeah.
and that's a big reason why. I mean, I sit at home and I watch those videos. It's all I do.
Yeah.
People come to my house, I have music videos playing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just I'm constantly watching videos, taking notes, pulling things. I mean, everything that I've ever made has like 10 different references from like shit that I've just been watching.
No,
at the
I've
time.
caught a couple. That
Yeah.
It's like, that looks familiar. I'm
Yeah.
like I was saying, yeah, no, they feel so like, okay, like, like I always say your videos remind me of like the Fallout Boy run. Take out the one with the prom, but they feel like that. Like when I watch your videos, I'm like, this is so, like, I get like that nostalgic.
Yo, wait. How the fuck did you just say that? Because Fall Out Boy is my favorite band of all. I've got like multiple like Fall Out Boy tattoos. Like Fall Out Boys that made me.
Yeah,
That's my dad's.
yeah.
They made
Yeah.
they made everything that comes out of me. Like they're responsible for me.
They that's lots
Well,
of
them of
time.
that time. Them of
Yeah,
that time.
them of that time. Yeah, no, the I don't know. Like, cause I was watching like the one where the dude's on the ground. It's like one of your pinned ones, but I ended up looking.
Oh
finding the video,
yeah.
but
The
he's-
Sunrose video.
Yeah, the Summers video, and like I don't know, like that. I don't know. It just reminded me of like that specific era, like the white tie affair, like all of those core like videos, like, oh, this just reminds me, it's just so much pantomime, it's so much
Yeah.
fun. And then like, or the one that's like all blue, they're running around and shit like that. It kind
Yeah.
of reminds me like of the honey I'm going down, or the sugar I'm going down video,
Yeah.
where they're just they're in a graveyard, but it's like they're just walking. It's just
Yeah.
the where are we going, like there's no real
Yeah.
direction. And then like it just goes to like it cuts to like them and the band, and it's just like, wow, this feels like something, like just makes you feel like your childhood, like so you
Yeah.
make very nostalgic work. And I'm like, the thing is too, and is everyone wants to be like a hip hop fucking person, so on and so forth, or some type of hip hop director, which is
Yeah.
great. Not knocking you. I hope you excel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact that you're going against the grain and still like being original. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Like,
appreciate that.
Like going back to your roots and digging it up, because I also think nothing's new under the sun. But I mean, but you can
Yeah.
sure give it your all and try to make something. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's what your work is, at least to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you use VHS, and I love VHS. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I love VHS.
So when you get a client that wants that type of video, what's the steps? How are you putting these together?
So the steps are, I will have an initial meeting with them, and I need to figure out their budget. And I know that you you said that a lot of the music videos that I've directed look so high budget, and like I don't know if it's gonna like shoot me in the foot to say this on the podcast, but like the music videos that I make are $2,000 to $3,000.
And for a lot of people, though, well, first those 2,000.
That's the whole budget.
What's to say? So what? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, people think when they hear a budget, they hear how
Like
much
how much
you're
I'm
getting,
making.
which I don't want you to disclose.
Yeah.
But you don't.
Don't.
You don't. Some solidarity here. We're gonna keep it on the low. But
Yeah.
but it's like, it's, I think too, and just to speak on this, people hear, oh, what's the budget? They think, oh, well, he's trying to charge me.
Yeah,
When I say, yo, I need like at least 15, it's like, no, not 15 for me.
That's
You
the
want,
DP.
yeah.
That's the editor. That's the colorist. Because they can't get shorted.
Yeah, they
And
can't.
the only person that can get shorted in the music videos that I make is me.
Me is you.
And I don't care.
Yeah.
I've never cared. I figure out money on my own. Like
Yeah.
I have made multiple music videos where I take away nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm proud to say that because for me nothing is ever about money.
Yeah.
I love this shit. And if I could do it the rest of my life and not profit off it at all and still be able to do it, I would take that.
Yeah.
Over not doing it and not profiting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
No, I think, especially in LA, I'll say it on here, it's a fucking dead concept. There's not a lot, there's a handful. I could probably name
They're
them.
hustlers out here.
Yeah, and I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the concept of itself of doing anything for free because, or whatever the case.
And a lot of people won't.
No, they won't.
But
go
you
for
have
it.
to earn that.
You have to.
You have to earn the privilege to turn down work for free, and I haven't. And
Yeah.
like I do see myself as a series director. I do love the work that I do, and I am so proud of myself and proud of all the people that I work with. But at the same time, I don't see myself as someone who can turn down not getting the
Yeah.
money that I would want to get for a project, or like not
Yeah.
taking what I want to take from a project, because like at the end of the day is the best thing that ever happens to me, the days that I get to make music videos, and even the days after where I get to edit music videos with the editor, with the colorist, like those are the best days of my life.
Yeah.
And I don't need money for them.
Yeah.
Because the amount of happiness that I get and like fulfillment that it gives me is worth more than like any dollar amount.
No, exactly. And I always say too, these videos live forever.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the legacy can't die.
Priceless.
Yeah, so the legacy can't die is priceless. So it's like, why not? You know what I'm saying? We only here for, we're here on borrowed time anyway. So it's like, why not try to do something cool while I'm down here? You know what I'm saying? And just
Yeah.
worrying about something I'm going to spend. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Exactly.
you
Like
know?
that shit goes. Like
Right.
that shit does not matter. And I know I said I grew up blessed, but I didn't grow up with disposable income, so it was
Yeah.
never something that had
Yeah.
value to me. Even things don't have value to me. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't give a fuck.
I was fired.
Fucking, fuck that hat. Fuck like any of this shit I got on.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I can't get this off right now, but y'all get it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I do not give a fuck. Like
Yeah.
take it all. Like it was never anything.
Exactly. No, I hear you. And I mean, I think too, it's just like, coming from, like I said, coming from the background that you come from and things of that nature, I feel like it does build a specific type of character. You know what I'm saying? Because, being, like I say, not having a disposable income in a area that has loads of disposable income, it does show you, a front row seat of like, across the river. Like, you know what I'm saying?
and it shows me like families and friends that weren't happy despite it, and so I think that I learned from a very young age that that it didn't give you that. I always knew that because my parents were happy people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my family, like we had a happy family, and like so I could see families that had it that maybe weren't unhappy, and like. Not to say that like disposable income,
Makes you
like
unhappy.
money, makes you unhappy, but it in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make or break how you feel.
Yeah, exactly. Or what fulfills you during
Yeah.
those situations.
Yeah.
So you start at the budget. We got very far off the track.
Oh yeah, we did.
got very
Okay,
far off
yeah.
the track.
So I learned the budget, and with the budget, I learn what we can do about location, because, like I said, a little bit ago, the people that can't get shorted are like DP, editor, colorist, which I feel so grateful to know people who do all of those things. So when it becomes like who do all those things very well,
Yeah.
and when it becomes kind of like a package, like, yo, like I have a video, I'm gonna direct it. Can you like DP, color, and edit it for this amount of money,
Yeah.
and like they're down, then like that helps me because I don't have to like source people and pay separately. So you know, typically the music videos that I direct, there's like 3 people on set, like if even. It's literally the DP, me, and then like maybe someone who like wanted to assist or wanted to pull up and help, or like maybe someone with lights, but usually the person with lights is also the DP. So it's just skeleton crew. And I prefer it that way. I like no noise. I like to be so focused on what's going on. Like, so yeah, I source who I think will be best for the project, because at this point in my career, I've met a lot of very talented people. So I source someone who I think will be best for the project, and I give them the rate, and I ask them if they're down. You know, if they're not down, I find someone else. But when they're down, I see what's left. So, I mean, I don't want to like say too much about like what the people I work with like get paid on some projects, but like basically, you know, a lot of times I told you guys the budget of the videos I run $2 to $3 grand. So usually there's not extra money for like. There's no styling. There's no location. I pull so many favors. I have been so blessed in this city to have made the connections I've made, and to have people who fuck with me and I fuck with them, and made these genuine connections where like people know that like if they do this favor for me, like
something's gonna happen
in return. I'm gonna be able to repay them. Like, hey, like let me use your spot for like 3-4 hours, and then like. Next video I get with budget, like I'm gonna rent your spot, like use it again, or like let me use your spot, and then like I'm gonna give you this video, you're gonna use it to promote. It's always like, it's always symbiotic. It's always like help me help you, like you do this for me, I'll do this for you type beat. And so
such a great thing.
So yeah, a lot of times like I'm borrowing locations from people who I know have spaces, warehouses, whatever, or like I'm renting peer spaces that cost like less than $100 an hour.
Yeah,
cheap as hell. Cheap as fuck. And then that's it, and that's all there is. It's sometimes there's a little bit of budget for location, and then the rest of it goes to the DP editor, who, you know, has to get paid like a normal rate for what they do, and then like if there's money left over after that, that's what I take. You
gotta use Gigster.
Yeah, I use Gigster too.
Gigster is amazing. I like Gigster way more than Peerspace.
Yeah.
They don't be adding that dumbass.
It's the setup of the website.
Oh, it's just nicer. But I think too, because like I be saying, like, not to, you know, get back into what you're saying, but Peerspace be like it's not always geared towards like filmmaking all the time.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or it's like too large scale.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do you want this like $1,000 an hour? Like,
it's like, who's doing
hospital?
This?
Like entire hospital? I'm like, whose hospital?
Who's doing this? Who's doing this? And
who's got budget? I want to meet them.
Who has to open up the budget? We gonna do $1,000?
I want to meet who's got money to be renting these spaces. I want to work with them.
Exactly. Like I said, what's it called? The only person I've seen is shooting a hospital. Like, is this really shot Grey's Anatomy?
Like, for real. Like, I want to. No, but it's like that. It's like TV shows and shit.
That's what I'm saying. I always think like I thought Grey's Anatomy was like a fucking like a backdrop, like a set. Like no ceiling, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those ones, I'm like, that's a real hospital.
It was a real hospital.
That's a real hospital.
Yeah, they got that shit. And it's like, why the fuck are you wasting space?
Where is this hospital at?
What about the people who need to go to the hospital?
Where is this? Like, I feel like
it's in Burbank, probably.
No, as I'm saying, you pay this. I feel like you pay this $1,000, and it's a wing. I feel like it's not the full hospital. Like, I feel like they show.
Yeah, like you don't even get the full space.
Like I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, word.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
But they're only showing a section of the picture. They don't show, because the hospital is way bigger.
It's like a couple beds and curtains, and then like one waiting room, maybe.
No, like, bro,
one like front desk.
I need the hallway. I need the whole thing. Like, you know,
for $1,000, we need the whole thing.
And like the lighting.
We need the outside of the building.
We're gonna need to also like get rid of the lights on the top, because you're not gonna use fucking fluorescent ceiling lighting on cameras. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Give us a run for our money.
Come on, I give you $1,000, like 10-20s game. What
That's
are we
rent,
doing?
babes.
But man, anyway, that was crazy. But anyway, I'm happy to see somebody feels the same way I do. But
fuck that.
Yeah. So, but from there.
Oh yeah, from there. Okay, so you know that sometimes my people have to get paid a fair rate.
Yeah.
I try to make it so I get paid a little bit, but when I don't, I do not give a fuck, especially when I'm working with my friends, which is a great thing about being in this pocket of the music industry, is like, these people are my homies. Like, these people are my friends. And that's why they reach out to me and they trust me, because they know me, they know my vibe, they know the shit that I like, they know we have similar influences. Like, the people that inspire them their music videos inspire me. And so it's just kind of like we all understand each other. And that's how I felt about the music video you're talking about, the Sunrose one, with when the lead singer fell on the floor.
Yeah.
But
Great.
yeah, so then after that, we just lock in a day where everybody's free, which is very easy to do with a skeleton crew. Like I just have to be free. DP has to be free. Location has to be available.
And the band is always free.
Yeah,
They need to get this work done. So they gonna be free.
They're happy to be there. They're so happy to be there.
Exactly.
But then depending on the video, I come up with a concept that the artist has to approve. So, I write a little outline treatment, a little template, like not super detailed. Artist has to approve it. When it gets approved by artists, I start writing out the shots. The artist will usually add shots as well.
Usually.
Yeah, like, when you were talking about the guy who fell on the floor, that's my friend Jackson. He wrote that shot.
Really?
Yeah, because he saw an old video of Kurt Cobain. His microphone
I know exactly
fell on
which
the
one you're
ground.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Kurt got down on the ground and kept singing, and Jackson was like, "I want to do that shot," and I was like, "That's dope as fuck. Let's run it." So like it's always a group effort.
Yeah.
Like I do take credit for like a lot of the creative on videos, but like some really amazing things that have happened in the videos I made were because of the artists. I mean, artists are the most creative people ever.
That we know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what is art without the artist? You know what I mean?
Come on.
And so yeah,
Coffee shop.
They add some shots like, oh, you know what? Can we do this? Or like, about like when this happens in the song, can we have something like this? And then I add those shots in, and then if I feel like I need to, I write out the video by every 10 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Which I haven't done often. Yeah, starting at 0, going all the way to the end of the song. I write out what's happening in each moment. And for that video, the Sunrose one, I did that. I did every 10 seconds of the song. I wrote exactly what was happening so that during the editing process, we knew what was going where.
Yeah.
But for a lot of the videos I do, there's a basic like 3 setting format, a 3 location format. Like 1 performance somewhere, 1 you and your friends dicking around somewhere, 1 like solo, like maybe something sexy, and then we just cut between.
Intertwine it.
But I like doing like a traditional like 3 different like shot format for videos that I make. I'll do 2 if there's no budget. I'll do 1 if there's no budget. 1 location videos are actually sick as fuck because like we were saying about like band performances with alternative music, it's just with a 1 location, it's pretty much all just like the band performing.
Yeah.
The Sunrise video was 1 fucking location.
Yeah, no, it is.
It was 1 fucking location.
But it was lit so nicely.
It was lit so nicely. And that was the DP at Like Romeo, and he is so fucking talented. And yeah, we'll put his name up.
Exactly.
But yeah, he DP'd the fuck out of that video. He edited the fuck out of that video. He colored the fuck out of that video. He also, Swiss Army knife, knows how to do everything. Super talented fucking guy.
A lot of your videos are blue, and I really appreciate the continuity.
Yeah, and I do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Ever since I first wanted to make music videos, I knew that I wanted to do blue and green hues because most of the videos that I watched when I was younger, the early 2000s, the stuff that I try to like use as the blueprint have that hue. And I don't think people realize it when they're watching it. Like you can't watch the video and be like, oh, this color is what is making me think of it. But color is a very, very, very important aspect of a music video because of shit like that. It can change the entire vibe.
Facts.
Like that blue-green hue is going to make you think like, oh, like, all these early 2000s music videos, like alternative music videos, like
they all have a specific, very specific feeling, and I feel like
that Linkin Park vibe.
That man, or All American Rejects, had a specific type of clarity that I didn't really see in a lot of other videos. Yeah, and like so, there's certain videos that I'll see today, and I'm like, this reminds me of fucking All American Rejects.
Yeah,
and it's like none of these guys are British. I said it's not the point. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, they have I don't know those really those videos weren't really like super produced either.
Yeah,
like those house videos that they would do. Yeah, like it's 6 people in the house. They're doing like the whole interchange. They're using the same cast to be like the
same cast.
other people, and then
yeah,
it's like,
that gives you hell video.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a front yard, and that's it. And then like they're on the front yard digging around. You know what I'm saying? That thing. And it's like okay, like.
But the crazy thing is, they had so much goddamn money.
They did.
All those early 2000s bands had money out the ass.
Yeah, but it's like damn, like it
You
was
could have
still,
done more.
you could have done way more, but
You
it's
could have
like
got the hospital. You could have got the whole.
times
You
two.
had the money.
You had the
money.
you
to
could
get
have
the
did
hospital.
both
You could have got
wings.
the high schools that you could have get. You got the bleachers,
Okay.
the gym, the pool.
Okay.
You got all of it. You got bread.
And you only used the fucking house.
They were so breaded.
No, they
were so breaded up.
But how do you stay rich? You don't spend it.
But you
what
know,
I mean?
have you seen the Fall Out Boy music video where Kim Kardashian is like making out with Pete Wentz?
Yes.
That video is breaded. They had monkeys.
Yeah,
were those
no, they
real?
did. They were real. A lot of that, you had to understand.
And you know how much money that probably was? There was like 5 of them, and they
You
had
have to
them
have a
in
trainer.
clothes, and
You
they had
have
to
to
train.
you have to have a trainer for each one of them. No, you have a trainer.
Kardashian.
Anytime you use an animal on
Kim
set.
Kardashian.
No, bro. On God in heaven, I want to know how much she got paid. I want to know how much she got.
I want to know so bad. You want to know what I think? I think that okay, so Fall Out Boy at that time was. I mean, they're still breaded the fuck up, but like they were running the music video game kind of.
They were.
And that's why they're so inspiring to me, and that's why I love them so much, because they were running the music video game, and I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet that music video was probably around 500-600K.
Easy.
If I had to guess, maybe more.
Out the gate.
So Kim K wasn't very Kim K at that time.
No, that was, but that
she was still like hot.
But
bitch.
that was before. I mean, that was after the sex tape.
It was.
That was after the sex tape.
Was that okay?
If I'm correct.
Post sex tape, pre Kanye.
Yeah, that was post. But the sex tape after.
But was she still working with Paris Hilton?
Yeah, well, that was that whole.
Or was she her own?
No, that was that whole era.
Paris Hilton.
The Paris Hilton era.
See, so it was in the Paris Hilton era. It makes me think maybe she didn't get paid
a
as
lot.
much.
She didn't get paid a lot, but she at least got a couple grand.
More than that.
To kiss on camera.
Yeah, Pete Wentz.
But Pete Wentz was way bigger than her. But he's way bigger than her at the time.
He was.
So realistically,
what do you think, like 10K?
I say maybe 10, maybe because like she knew the producer, and she's like, I can get you.
The way that I would pay 10K to kiss that man.
The way that I would pay take that.
And I don't even fuck with dudes like that. I really don't even fuck with dudes like that anymore. I know I've been talking about boyfriends this whole time. I don't fuck with dudes like that, but I would pay big money to like give Pete Wentz a big old smooch.
So, but no, I feel you, but I think at least, I'd say at least 10 to 5K.
Yeah,
she seen a good little.
She
wire
was making more than
transfer.
5K for that.
Nah, I just think. I mean, I don't know, because like I said,
I don't know.
At that time, like,
what if she secretly liked Pete Wentz and they secretly had a little thing that nobody knew? Because you know how many like famous people had secret little things when there was no internet, there was no social media. Like, what if they just had this secret little thing and Pete Wentz was just like, oh, like, you should like come kiss me like for this video. It'd be like shocking, like, music video's gonna go hard. And Kim was like, okay.
And that's before Keeping Up with Kardashians. Too.
Yeah, because those emo boys were getting the baddies.
I mean, they were.
Chris Angel was fucking.
That nigga's crazy too.
They were fucking.
Yeah, they were getting
Chris Angel.
They were getting right. They was getting right. He's insane. But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Like I said, like I feel like just that time though. Like I mean, rap was really prevalent, obviously, stuff like that. But like that scene, that was pop. You know what I mean? Like that
exactly.
Was
Alternative
pop.
was pop, and that was like that was pretty much, I think, when alternative broke mainstream.
Yeah.
Was that early 2000s?
I mean, even look at like Panic at the Disco, like all of them.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, mainstream, big money. Yeah, like
he's still touring off one song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
he done lost his whole band.
Yeah, no, it's just him.
Yeah,
it's just,
sell out.
But you know how that goes, though. Like the band shit, even with like in the hardcore scene, like those bands break up all the time,
and that's why bands had been. The idea of having a band has turned into this like old school thing, and a lot of people think that they can do it without it because it's easier. And it's easier. It's easier to like have someone produce your music. It's easier to just be a solo artist, but it's not authentic.
It's not. It doesn't feel the same.
It's not the same. Yeah. Having a band. Everyone that you're inspired by as a solo artist are bands.
Yeah.
If you're a solo alternative artist, and someone was like, "Oh, who's your biggest inspo?" You're gonna name off all of these bands, and it's like, how are you gonna do what they did by yourself? Like, you gotta go through the bullshit.
Yeah, it's impossible.
You gotta earn it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, I do understand if the band breaks up, it's like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Like I get in that situation, but like granted, I don't know his situation. I just know the band isn't the same band anymore.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm like, the songs have encapsulated these people's souls. Like these are everyone that helped with that song. Now you're just doing covers, damn near. Like they're just playing a cover. Like, you know what I mean? Like
because you're talking about that first album. I try. Yeah.
Amazing.
And you know what? You know who wrote that album? Not him.
Really?
No, and I forget the name of the other guy, but it was this guy basically created the vibe of Panic at the Disco. I think he was either the guitarist or the bassist. Ryan, I think his name is Ryan something, but I had to punch in
It's
his
Adam,
name.
just like,
Yeah,
no.
like a photo of him
A
comes
photo of
up.
It's fucking Ryan.
He made that first album, and not to say that like Brandon Urie didn't help. Obviously, I'm not like super like in with like what was going on with that band. Like
Yeah.
I do think they're sick, and I loved them. Obviously, like at the time they were really famous when I was
Yeah.
younger. But I'm pretty sure that it was that kid, and you know that album goes down as an emo kid. That album goes down in history as one of the best like
Ever.
alternative emo kid albums ever. Yeah, and like
Didn't
and none of his other albums did that. I don't give a fuck.
No, yeah, no.
Pretty
went-
Odd was cool.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe their like second or third, but like it wasn't.
It's not. It will never
Yeah.
touch that first album.
Yeah.
And that in that video was a one location video, and it was just in a fucking chapel. You know what I'm
The
saying?
amount of extras.
And you know what though?
Styling. Bread.
Well, like I said, like I feel like as far as they saved the bread on the location,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
The extras, I feel like weren't extras. I feel like those were just friends. Like,
Really?
Yeah, because it didn't feel like you can usually guess when there's extras.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have like a sixth sense for guessing. Like, oh, that person does not know. Like,
That's
you know,
their
what I mean?
friend.
Yeah, like I don't know, but just something like that.
That's
when,
an inside job.
when it's that intimate,
Yeah.
the video was very intimate.
Yeah.
And everyone just seemed like, I mean, what fuck they had to do? Fucking sit down straight and then move their arms weird.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that, I feel like you have friends doing that shit with you.
Yeah.
They're all wearing masks, they're fucking all smiling under the shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could tell, like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe not the girl.
I
he
mean,
kissed.
why not? Like, if you were making a music video and you had a bunch of friends, why would you not just be like, oh, like
On
yeah,
your
all my
biggest
friends,
song ever.
Yeah, like I want y'all to be in it.
I want my
But
friends
you know
to be
they
in
still had to
this.
get paid. I mean, that like we were talking about, like these bands had huge budgets.
Yeah,
So it's like
exactly.
if it was just friends and they didn't get paid, and then it was one location,
Mm-hmm.
where the fuck did that money go to?
Well, see, that's the
The
thing.
director got bread.
the director, I mean,
the
they
director
were-
left with $50K.
Well, you know, they get their contracts straight before they even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing this, I need X amount of bread to show up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I want half of this up front to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially back then, where I'm pretty sure. The record labels rule the world, so they're just giving out, whatever money you could do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but now after this, I'm gonna deep dive into figure out how much these videos were.
Oh, I do it all the fucking time. It's my favorite thing to do.
Oh,
it's
same.
my favorite thing to do, to watch a video and then like. But a lot of times you can't find the budget.
No, you
So
gotta-
a lot of
you
times
gotta
you
know
gotta just
somebody. Yeah.
guess, like estimate. But like
The famous
Yeah.
ones usually you could find though. Like I do
Yeah.
that with movies a lot.
the highest budget music video, which I think that I looked this up not that long ago, was a Janet Jackson music video, and I think it was actually Joseph Kahn, if I'm not mistaken. It might not have been, but it was like Janet Jackson inside like a spaceship.
Oh fuck! I'm letting everyone down. I know I'm a avid
You was like
Janet Jackson fan.
in
Yeah,
some kind of
it,
like
it was almost like a
rocket ship.
fucking. It was like the 21 for the 20 200. Wow,
Space Odyssey.
2001 first Space
Yeah.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Bubble suit bullshit
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
And I was like, and when I found out that was the most expensive video, and I went and watched it, I was like, where?
because it's the year. Like I always feel like those videos were the 90s. Like that's videos back then were obviously.
And it was like if you had the
know?
budget, you spent it all.
It was Janet Jackson though. At one
It was
time,
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson's on the top of the fucking world. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it makes sense. Like I remember I miss, and I could be wrong, but when like people would go on tour and it would be like you're bringing fucking 90 dancers with you, and it's like
Yeah,
it's like
bread.
I'm sure Beyonce still does it, but like
Beyonce's doing it, Taylor Swift's doing it,
Yeah.
a couple other people are doing it.
but like they're
you have to
dancing with them
have that
type
money.
shit.
You have to have that
yeah.
budget.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean, to bring them to every show and
Yeah.
but because she had she had a tour called I think it was the Revolution, something like that. They're all dressed like super militant and shit like that. And this show was fucking amazing. I was like, damn, if only I was alive when this came out. Like I would have loved to see that shit live. But it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. I feel like neither the budget's tight or people just don't have that drive to want to really have an
Yeah.
experience.
And it became so much less about experience and visuals and so much more about
Ticket sales.
fame.
Ticket sales.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many-
Yeah, money.
And I feel like that's why, you're hearing all these, these rappers now. It's like, oh, they can't sell these tickets and things like that. It's like because y'all just coming out here and rapping.
Not even.
Like,
They're not rapping.
Yeah, or just looking.
There's just a backtrack, and they say like 2 lines out of every song. Like I'm like was never more disappointed in my life. Fuck, I don't want to name drop this person because I love him more than anything.
Don't. Well, I mean,
It's a rapper. It's
you
a
can
rapper.
say it. I'll bleep it out.
Oh, A$AP Rocky.
Ah.
That was probably the first rap. Okay, because I saw Tyler the Creator when Cherry Bomb came out, and he put on the crazy. I couldn't even stand, and this was in Jacksonville, Florida. But we were riding for him, and we were in this like little club in Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, Cherry Bomb was like a very early album because he wasn't at the level that he's in now, and he put on the most insane show ever. And he ate down, and the crowd was fucking manic, and I was on the floor the entire time. I couldn't even get up. I was like, I'm getting trampled, and I love every second of it. So then I go to a music festival knowing that A$AP Rocky is one of the headliners. I go to the stage that he's headlining that day. I stand on the fence through every single act that day, almost 10 hours, so that I could be right at the front for him because, you know, like...
It was fucking A$AP Rocky.
And I thought we were maybe, like, going to date or something.
Yeah, there you go.
I was, like, in high school. I was like, oh, my God, like, he's going to see me and, like, you know, take me out of the crowd, whatever.
Exactly.
So I'm, like, up there waiting for him. He was so late, and he put on... The energy was great. He put on the worst show I've ever seen. It was just his music playing, and he was just like, okay... And just like, and he maybe would say like one line out of the chorus. Like every time the song played, I was like, I just want to like, I want to hear you. Like, I want to kiss you. I want to love you. And like, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
And I was so confused. And then he walked off the stage and I was like, what I thought was going to be like him serenading me.
Yeah.
Even with his like, you know, high energy, like fast songs, I thought that I was going to be serenaded. And then, you know, I thought he was going to be like, hey, like, you know, take me out of the crowd, like pick me up, you know,
pick you up by
like a little kid. And I'm like, all right,
like Simba,
know, and then he just like run off, like. And I was in New Orleans, Louisiana.
I was in New Orleans.
Yeah, it was Buku.
What year? What year?
Either 2017 or 2018.
Really? I seen.
Death Grips were there.
Really?
And I was on acid.
Oh, you were having the time of your life.
I was candy flipping watching A$AP Rocky. You know, to an extent, because I was on acid and Molly, and I was so close to A$AP Rocky, it made it all worth it. But
yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, but no, I definitely feel you. I mean,
not to promote drugs.
No.
Only if A$AP Rocky's there.
Only if A$AP Rocky.
Do not do drugs unless you're in the room with A$AP Rocky. Unless you guys are in the same vicinity. That's the only time I promote it.
Hilarious. I can't wait to listen to this again. No, I feel you. So, but to switch gears, I'm
like, what are we even talking about right
bro,
now?
we went on a tangent. It was great.
Yeah.
But, you know, before we get out of here, I want to talk about your photo shoots.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, thank you.
Wow.
I don't know how to operate a camera.
You're doing well, shit.
It's all the creative direction.
Yeah,
and I'm lucky that the photos came out, and the reason why I shoot with a film camera and shoot film is because I don't know how to work a digital camera. I don't know how to work Photoshop. I rely solely on like
the image
idea. And like it being so clear and like that really like taking it to that level.
Yeah.
And then the creative direction is all of it. It's only creative direction. If I could have somebody else come and take the photos who was good at it and knew what they were doing, that's what I would do. And I've actually expressed interest in that. As a creative director, I've wanted to dive into like, would any photographers want to collaborate on photo shoots? So, you know, they get to show off their technical.
Their technical, yeah.
And then I get to creative direct, and like it's still my image, but it's done in a perfect way.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a perfect world, all the images that I've taken would be done that way, and I think that they would look a lot better. You know, like I always say, like I've been saying this whole podcast, is like it is a group effort.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
Unless you're like that kid Vix I was talking about, or like I don't know, some crazy like Dave LaChapelle or some shit. No, he's probably got a team.
Oh well, I mean,
whatever, he fucks.
You said Dave Chappelle?
Dave LaChapelle.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
God damn. That he's top 5. Anyway,
he's fucking
immensely. You know what I'm saying? It's thrown at him. He's just it's at the wall.
But yeah, but I would love to do more stuff like that, and I appreciate that you like the photos.
I like the concepts as much. I mean, I shoot film as well, so I definitely feel you. But I like the concept of it because it's like I said too in in the beginning of this, you know, I like the idea of women being women and wearing what they want, doing what they want. It's great, live your life. It's fine, you know. But there is a thin line between like exploiting the sexual side of that or showing it in a very artful curated
Yeah,
situation, and that goes for video and photos to
exactly.
me. And I feel like like we were talking about before we got on camera, that's really what I respect the most about what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously, like not even the fact that you're a woman has nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that you see the line and
Yeah.
you've never gone over it into the side that it's like, well, that's just a naked body. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
it's never that with me.
yeah,
And I think that that comes from growing up and I do see myself as like an attractive woman, but I wasn't just an attractive woman and I never was. I like there was always some weird shit going on.
yeah,
Like, I was also a little bit weird. Like I was also into like some weird shit. I was
yeah,
also dressing a little weird. Like I always wanted to have that aspect that made me not just an attractive woman.
yeah,
And
exactly.
it just made me who I am today. And so if I want to use an attractive woman as a subject, whether it's in a video, whether it's in a photo shoot, I take that same concept that I carry with myself and I
Yeah,
say it has to be more
yeah,
because that's just not cutting it. Yeah, like
exactly.
we mentioned, it's not cutting it. Like there's too much sex. We have too much sex. We are so overexposed to sex.
Yeah,
And not to say that it's not sexy anymore, but it's not interesting.
It's- it- what man? I've been saying that.
Yeah.
And I think
We've seen it.
we've seen it. It's happening. And this is not to hate on anybody that does it for a living. Like I feel you, get your money, get how you live. But like there's always ways to spice it up, make it better.
Yeah.
Like read a book. Like you know what I'm saying. There's a
Yeah,
lot going on.
exactly.
You know what I mean. But and this is not like I just had Violet Myers on here last. This would be like last time, and it's
What
like
is that?
I'll show you. It's just because I have to say because of it's on the channel.
Oh, yeah, of
So it's
course,
like
of course.
I just had her on here, and it's like her whole thing is like she does the adult entertainment stuff like for real. You know what I'm saying? But like with her it's different.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like she had a little something extra.
Yeah, like she brings a lot more to the table than
And that's
just doing that.
important. And that's important. If you're passionate about something, then that thing is art.
Yeah, exactly,
And if you're not passionate about something, we can see it.
exactly.
So like, even if that is your job, obviously I love sex workers. A shit ton of my friends are sex
Facts.
workers, but
Same.
but most of them that I know have a niche.
Yeah,
They do.
They do
And
something
when they
else.
don't, no one's giving a fuck.
exactly. No, exactly.
All the girls I know that are doing it, all my homies that are doing it, they've got this niche. They've got something. I have a very good friend, post that, official Chrissy Taylor.
Bow.
She was a D1 soccer player. So in
Christ.
most of her content, it's a lot of these thighs that she built by being a D1 soccer player, the most insane thighs ever. And and in a lot of her videos, she's dribbling a soccer ball. She's like taking videos of herself playing soccer, doing what she loves, and that's that passion.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's her taking that passion and taking her work and combining
it.
into this gorgeous baby of like, I'm having fun and
Exactly.
I'm doing something that I like doing.
Exactly.
And that's the most
And getting
important
bread
part.
for it. There's
And
always
getting
money
bread for
involved.
it.
Like I said, I can't knock anybody that's getting bread because I mean, shit. Some of these motherfuckers be getting this. I mean, it's like I mean, hey man, I get it
Yeah.
though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like I feel it. But at the end of the day, like I said, like it's more or less, trying to take that first step to being, different, creative, and
Yeah.
understanding, that I mean, women are exploited enough.
Yeah.
So it's like why not? Why
And
add to the
there's
pot?
a way to, and I think when you see women as more than just sex, it's a lot easier to create things with them that
Yeah.
feel like more than just sex.
Everybody's capable. And I
Yeah,
think-
and a lot of people do it, and a lot of like my inspiration when I'm using women's subjects, it's not all. It's obviously everything that I do is inspired by a lot of people, and there's a lot of people that do it really well. Like, I don't know if you know who Indiana 420 bitch is.
I think I do.
He's an amazing creative director,
Yeah.
content creator, videographer, photographer. He takes stills. Whatever he is, he does so many fucking things. He has always made women look like more than women, and he's my biggest inspiration for
What you do?
for what I do in that sense. For like
Yeah.
for that part of what I do. Like when I'm working with women, I think about him. I think
Mm-hmm.
about what he does. I think about what he would do. I think about like different things that he adds to his work that really makes it art and makes it not just hot girls.
Exactly.
Well, he does a lot of he does, I think, the creative for IMG.
That would make sense. I think he does. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's why I
You know
know
what I'm
who he
talking
is. Yeah, I
about?
think that's why I know
So
who
you
he
know
is.
when IMG like has been popping out with like these insane images and this creative direction and like this unsettling vibe that is just like makes
Makes
sex even
sexy.
sexier.
You said something very interesting. The way these fucking magazines are looking with these fucking horrible images, like you know what Vogue was doing for a while when it was just out, like they did the behind the scenes and the bitch is just, and the girl is just taking a picture on a fucking iPhone and shit like that, and the pictures are fucking horrible.
Yeah.
There's one with the rapper that you were talking about that did one too, and his is fucking horrible too.
I don't.
Like,
I'm having a hard time picturing the reference. But you're
yeah,
talking about it was like a BTS photo.
yeah, it was
Basically.
like a BTS one, and it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fucking, but it made the cover. Like they did a BTS video of them shooting the cover, and it was like
And that ended up being the cover.
it just ended up being the
Because
cover.
it can definitely be very interesting, but like it depends. I mean, art isn't art without the artist, like we've been saying,
Yeah.
like and vice versa. And so like that's why earlier when I mentioned Indiana 420 bitch, I think he pioneered that. He
fucking
pioneered
did.
the BTS vibe and the
Yeah.
BTS photography and the BTS videography. He made it more than BTS. There
Yeah.
was always BTS. There was always
Yeah.
like come shoot behind the scenes. He because he's an artist and he was doing it, the only possible outcome was it was going to be art.
Yeah, and it's just so interesting to me to be like,
And that's
like,
where I started too. The first paid project I ever did was BTS, and a lot I do BTS, and for the rapper that hired me as a personal videographer, that's what I was doing was BTS, and I enjoyed that job so much because it made me feel connected to
yeah.
Indiana, who inspires me a lot. So I was so grateful.
Also, how was working with JT?
JT, it was fucking amazing. Nothing comes out of her mouth that isn't either funny or interesting. She's the least boring person I've ever met in my life. She is a rock star at her core. The life that she lives is sick as fuck, and I am so grateful that she brought me to see some of it. She took me out of the country for the first time. I'd never been out of the country, like like I wasn't doing that shit, and she was just like, yo, like come with me to Europe. She was doing photo shoots. She was doing a couple different City Girls shows, and I saw the most insane life I've ever seen. And like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be forever grateful. And like, she put me on the map with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And the work that I did with her will continue to get me more work. It's a gift
Yeah,
that keeps
easily,
on
yeah,
giving. And
exactly.
like, people admire the work that I did with her, and then those same people want to hire me. So I am forever indebted to her, and she's an amazing person. And you hear all these horror stories about rappers, about pop stars, about people in the limelight,
LOL.
and like you are seeing like one opinion of like something that happened that like that person who's writing about it, who's posting it everywhere, was not there for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she's an amazing person.
Oh,
She's sick as hell. Like I would hang out with her in regular life. Like I would kick it with her, and like I don't say that lightly. Like I don't kick it with people that
Yeah.
are sick. You know what I mean?
I'm saying too, like, but the work itself that you did from was so fire.
I appreciate that.
Yo.
I
You know what I'm
appreciate that.
saying? So it's like
Yeah.
you went dumb, and then even the video with the twins thing, that shit was really like, it's not even the fact of who it was just the fact that like, damn, these niggas look the exact same. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this, but again too, like they were just doing like oddball shit, and I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah,
Like
we had a lot of posing references,
Yeah.
like things that are outlandish, and those girls are twin sisters. They're real sisters.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and that's
I
what.
thought you found two
and-
people that look the same.
Yeah, and that's where that's where the inspo from like people like Harmony Korine, David Lynch
Yeah.
come in as like Terry Richardson, and anyone who did like a weird, obscure
Yeah,
type of
obscure.
photography is like, I'm not gonna make something unless something about it is unsettling.
Exactly.
Like I want there to be some sort of like people watching it and they admire it and they love it, and I appreciate you admiring it, but I want some people to also look at it and be like,
No, but that's the thing. Like I said, like I always go back to that cop picture. That's insane. But it's like,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's cool because it's like again like against the grain. Like
Yeah.
it's not going with the social norm or what that is,
Yeah.
and
And
you know
taking a normal photo shoot and just like the mindset is like something has to be off.
exactly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I said, the unsettling feeling of like what was going on. It's like it's cool, but like it has a message behind it too. So it's like I like as I said, I just like the whole vibe of what you got going on. You're very creative. You've got it. You're really on the right track.
I
So really, all
appreciate
you got
it.
to do is just keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
But unfortunately, we're out of time. We can do this. I can do this all day. This is great. You know what I mean?
I want to keep talking about myself.
No, but that's it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you have to. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, you're right, you're right.
We're very humble in these day and age, and
Yeah.
sometimes you shouldn't be. You
And
know
I
what I'm
and I
saying?
appreciate that opportunity because I've wanted. I think everybody wants a chance to be able to explain their work, how they came about, the people that inspire them. Like it feels like social media just doesn't give it enough, and like you don't want to overshare on social media either. So like people like you do such an amazing thing where you give artists the opportunity to talk about the things that the viewers don't see.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I appreciate you for that.
no, I appreciate it. I mean, I really do. Trust me, it means a lot more than you know. I'm really bad at taking compliments. But very bad. Like actually, I'm not even trying to look at the camera right now because I'm very like
Like,
But
oh.
I the whole thing is like there's not a lot of platforms out here in LA anymore that kind of cover the music scene or the underground scene for what it is and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's like everybody's really focused on the people that are popping, which they should. They fucking worked hard. They deserve to be
Yeah.
talked to. But it's like it's the other people around in the same thing that have just as much potential or just as much wherewithal to be like, yo, they deserve.
And
to
then
have
you
their
get to
story as
also
well.
in turn say that you met them
found
and you were
them.
able to hear about
Yeah,
like, you
that's-
discovered them and you were able to like you know everything from the grain before
Mm-hmm.
anything gets fabricated in the and lost in translation
Exactly.
when you get to be in a bigger spot, and that's so special.
It's just no one, then the tad on this before we got here. It is very special. And I love the idea of it. Not for the bragging rights, just for the fact that it's like I helped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want to help, but I was
You're telling stories.
Exactly.
You're doing a beautiful thing.
trying to. I was just talking to Sin, which is you met Sin earlier. And we were we were saying like no one wants to discover anymore. The process
Yeah.
of discovering is kind of dead.
No,
saying?
we're sheep. We
You know?
we want to follow along.
Exactly, and it's like that's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Try to do something good for the good. You know what I mean?
Wow, I'm so happy you discovered me.
I appreciate. Hey, I'm happy you responded because it almost didn't happen. Shout out to my
I'm a
people.
girl.
You're a
I'm
girl.
scared. I don't know who this man is.
No, you're right. You're right.
But I
You're
saw the
right.
vision and I fucked with it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But I try to keep everything. I ask nice.
Oh,
most
so
respectfully as
so
possible.
respectful.
You know what I'm
Such a
saying?
beautiful experience. Such a great guy.
know
What's
what
your
I'm
sign?
I'm a Libra.
Ugh.
That's
Happy
my-
birthday though.
But everybody hates Libras. And
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
are very not Libra. You got what's the other two signs? You know the other two, like your rising and your moon.
No, some girl told me. I forgot. I think it's like I don't know. I can't remember. I'll look at she sent it to me.
You're special though.
I'm trying to
And Libra
be.
men aren't special.
I've heard that they're horrible people. Like,
They ain't shit.
Well, any last words before we get out of here?
I appreciate this opportunity so much. I love what you're doing so much. I feel so blessed to be alongside of a lot of the people that you've had on this show before, and thank you for letting me tell my story.
Thanks for coming on. This has been Life and Times with Sam Fine.
Life and Times with SamFine.
Bow.
People changing, switching.